Ever since Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone came out in 1997, the series has been a phenomenon with children and adults alike. If you know anything about internet fandom, you'll know that even a children's book series isn't safe from the incredibly weird stuff that obsessive fans come up with. Now, I've been in this fandom for a long time, since 1999, and I've seen a lot of things over the last 18 years. Here are my memories of 10 strange things to come out of the Harry Potter fandom. 10. Crazy fan theories about new books. There are a lot of current Harry Potter fan theories now that the books are long over, like the one about Harry making the sacrifice of becoming immortal after killing Voldemort, or that Snape didn't really die. But back in the early days, when I got into the books and the third installment had just come out, man, people had some crazy theories about what would happen in the next 4 books. One I had was that Dumbledore was really Harry's great-grandfather on Lily's side, since we didn't know much about her family. People were constantly saying that eventually Harry and Draco would become friends, although maybe that was something to do with the slashers. I remember everyone was convinced that book 6 would be called Harry Potter and the Green Flame Torch for some reason, which makes it kind of weird that on the back there's a bright green thing that sort of looks like a torch. Some rumors were correct, like Hermione being made a prefect or Voldemort coming back, but those seem pretty obvious to me. Number 9. Harry Potter idol videos. The height of Harry Potter's popularity intersected with the peak popularity of a lot of other things iconic in 2000s pop culture. We'll talk more about other crossovers in a bit, but one that always made me laugh and cringe in particular are the many Harry Potter Idol video series that exist on YouTube. You see, I was a big American and Canadian Idol fan back in the day. I'll probably make some separate videos about that at some point. Apparently, so were a lot of kids on early YouTube. They would make videos, usually in Windows Movie Maker, which ups the lulz factor, pitting the Harry Potter characters against each other singing songs, which is really putting pictures of the character up against whatever song. And then watchers would vote for who should be voted out in the comments. So you get things like Snape singing Bootylicious or Dumbledore singing YMCA. Also, in researching this video, I realized these videos are a good 10 years old. Ugh. Number 8. Academic Harry Potter essays and conventions. People take Harry Potter really seriously. So seriously that there are now whole academic courses, conferences, and papers all about the series. In my own university experience, I took one English class where Philosopher's Stone was an optional text, and in another class we read an essay that was trying to argue that the name Salazar Slytherin was racist because it sounded Arabic, despite Salazar being a Spanish name. Anyway, other universities have entire classes about Harry Potter, like Christian Theology and Harry Potter at Yale University, Knights of Old and Harry Potter at Georgetown University, and sections of countless children's and fantasy literature courses. There's been an annual Harry Potter academic conference at Chestnut Hill College in Philadelphia for 6 years, and others at St. Andrews University in Scotland, Ohio State University, and others, along with academic panels at HP FanCons. Number 7. Crossover fanfics. All fandoms have people who are determined to cross its characters over into the world of another series. There's the whole Super Wholock thing on Tumblr, and Disney is notorious for crossing over its series whenever possible. The same goes for Harry Potter. Just look at trusty old fanfiction.net. There are over 40,000 Harry Potter crossover stories. Okay, Twilight, Percy Jackson, Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, I get it. But Naruto, Avengers, Pokemon, Glee? People have crossed Harry into pretty much every other fictional world, it seems. All the way down to Mickey Mouse and Friends, Minecraft, and Sex and the City. I'm not sure I want to know how that works. I'm sorry, how are there over 2,000 Harry Potter and Naruto fanfics? Number 6. Chinese Harry Potter knockoffs.
The Chinese fireball.
We all know there are weird bootleg products out there. We've all probably seen that Harry Potter Sonic Obama backpack. But some people take their dedication to bootlegging to a whole new level in the case of Harry Potter. In China, there are multiple full novel-length book series based on or made to look like Harry Potter. In Harry Potter and the Leopard Walk Up to Dragon, someone took the text of The Hobbit, translated it to Chinese, and replaced the character names with the Harry Potter crew. In Harry Potter and the Filler of Big, apparently Harry gets fed up of living with the Dursleys when Dudley's stripper girlfriend moves in. There are also several, like Harry Potter and the Porcelain Doll, where Harry heads to China himself. There are also a bunch of hilarious Harry Potter book covers that may just be for the regular books, but I really hope this one has its own full story. Number 5. My Immortal. To understand My Immortal, you first need to understand that in 2006, when this infamous fanfiction debuted, teens on the internet were obsessed with proving how goth or punk they were because they listened to My Chemical Romance and wore clothes from Hot Topic. This fanfiction, named after the oh-so-goth Evanescence song, "This pain is just too real," was posted on FanfictionNet by a teenager named Tara Gillespie. The fanfic, concerning ebony darkness, dementia, raven ways, exploits at Hogwarts, started out laughable but typical run-of-the-mill tween Molgoth stuff. It quickly descended into insanity and the most hilariously bad spelling ever. Harry is now vampire, Hermione is Bloody Mary, Ron is Diabolo, there's a lot of stuff about time travel, and they go form a band and go to My Chemical Romance concerts at Hogsmeade. Snape and Lupin are pornographers, Dumbledore bursts in cursing at students having sex in the Forbidden Forest, but according to Tara, because he had a headache. And for some reason, characters including Marty McFly, or as Tara calls him, Morty McFlea, and inexplicably Tom Anderson from MySpace drop in. So unbelievably, in the time between my recording this and editing it, there was an update in the whole My Immortal saga. After 11 years, the mysterious author of the fanfic has finally been uncovered. It turns out the young adult author Rose Christo wrote My Immortal as a teen, and she'll tell the story of its creation in her memoir to be released in 2018. Number 4. The Vibrating Broomstick. Wow. When the first Harry Potter movie came out in 2001, Warner Brothers rushed to license every possible piece of Harry Potter merchandise they could. Dolls, clothing, board games, notebooks, stickers, you name it, there was a Harry Potter version. Anyone who was a kid during Pottermania can tell you that make-believe Hogwarts games always involve stealing Mum's broom and pretending to play Quidditch, so it made sense to make an official toy broomstick. Mattel produced a toy replica of Harry's Nimbus 2000 broom in 2001, but it generated controversy shortly after it was released. Why? To supposedly mimic the sensation of flying, the broomstick vibrated when you sat on it. Yeah. Naturally, parents complained, though I'm sure some mothers were probably quite happy with the toy, and Nimbus 2000 was pulled off the shelf shortly after its release. Number 3. The Draco Trilogy. A lot of people know that 50 Shades of Grey originated in Twilight fanfiction. Fewer people realize that the popular YA series, The Mortal Instruments, sort of originated in early Harry Potter fanfiction. In 2000, author Cassandra Clare was just a fanfiction writer, though a particularly well-known one. She wrote the Draco Trilogy between 2000 and 2006, 3 novel-length stories about Draco Malfoy and his romantic entanglements with both Ginny and Hermione. The Draco Trilogy is credited with popularizing the idea of sexy, misunderstood, bad boy, leather pants-wearing Draco in Harry Potter fanfiction. However, it also borrowed heavily from other works of pop culture, including Blackadder, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and even direct passages from an out-of-print fantasy novel called The Hidden Land by Pamela Dean. Drama over this scandal abounded in old Harry Potter Yahoo groups, and Cassandra Clare was booted off FanfictionNet over the controversy. She didn't suffer too much, though. She published the first Mortal Instruments novel, City of Bones, in 2007. While the series isn't based on the Draco Trilogy, many fans have noticed similarities between its main characters, Clary and Jace, and Claire's versions of Ginny and Draco. Number 2. Dirty Harry Potter fan works. It's fairly well known that there is a lot of, shall we say, racy Harry Potter fan content out there. Hell, Harry Potter erotica is a card in Cards Against Humanity. From fairly vanilla romantic stories about canon relationships to porny fanfics about every pairing possible. From Hermione and Snape to Harry and Dudley to Fred and George to really specific things like this Harry Potter Old Lady Smut Brigade live journal community, which is still being updated. This summer, there was a widely circulated story about a guy who thought he was reading Order of the Phoenix for the first time, only to find out when he texted his friend about Dudley's death scene and Harry and Hermione's frequent hookups that he was just reading somebody's novel-length naughty fan fiction. Anyway, the best moment involving dirty Harry Potter fan art, in my opinion, was a memorable interview with Tom Felton on Conan when Conan showed Tom Photoshop pictures of himself and Daniel Radcliffe in compromising positions, which Tom had already seen.
To make matters worse, my brother actually had that on his screensaver.
No, he did.
Phone, yeah. And he would.
Your brother had that up?
Well, he found it hilarious.
Number 1. Snapeism and Snape wives.
Ridiculous!
Brooding Potions Master Severus Snape has long been one of the most popular characters among Harry Potter fans. Is it his status as an anti-hero, his tragic backstory, his mysteriousness? Who knows? When you hear there's a group called the Snape Wives, you might think they're just a bunch of women who really love Snape. Nope. Well, maybe they're role players who pretend to be married to Snape. Not quite. The Snape Wives were a small group of fans who legitimately believed in some way that they were cosmically married to Severus Snape. They filled blogs and forums in the mid-2000s, debating everything from Snape's choice in underwear to which of them he loved most, writing self-insert fanfiction about their relationships with Snape, made shrines to Snape, and even wrote out their wedding vows to him. Some of them even developed a religion called Snapeism, where they tried to live by Snape's example. The forums and blogs are mostly gone, but accounts of them remain, and one academic even wrote a thesis trying to explain this phenomenon, especially the new religion aspect. Anyway, thanks for watching, feel free to like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Bored Chick.